Jungle.
Hello and welcome to this week's WWW. My very first blog on this website was filmed at Satyagraha House, where Gandhi spent a short period of time. And in that blog I spoke about the idea of tapping into an inner power, a universal force that, when harnessed, is more powerful than the greatest military might on the planet, and when understood can change the world. And so it seems to me to be quite fitting that my last blog of 2013 should be dedicated to saying farewell to another man who demonstrated and lived the principles of that power, greatness and mastery on a massive scale. Now, Madiba was a remarkable man, a very human man, but he lived a remarkable life. And I want to ask the question today, what makes somebody a great master? And is it within our reach? Or are we simply to shake our heads and say, well, he was exceptional, no chance for me ever even aspiring towards something like that? Now, although greatness is an extraordinary quality and an exception to the rule, we recognize it, all of us, when we see it in someone else. So no matter what our education or upbringing, if we've ever heard of the word mastery or greatness, it's a quality in someone else that flings the gates of our collective heart open and leaves us in awe. And I had the privilege many years ago of attending Mandela's 75th and his 80th birthday, and I recall the immense presence of the man as he walked into the room. A presence born of suffering and a presence perfected out of the many hours that he would have spent in isolated, silent contemplation in a prison cell. And I'm very clear, if you are inspired by someone else's light, then it exists as a possibility or a potential for you. Their light is a projection from your own consciousness. A cat would not be inspired by Mandela's light because it's not a possibility for the cat. As the late Debbie Ford used to say, if you spot it, you got it. An easy way to remember this principle. So when we look in awe at Mandela, we are actually seeing a reflection of the most beautiful, most courageous, and most compassionate aspect of ourselves. And it exists in potential for each and every one of us, from the humblest person on the planet to those who have maneuvered themselves into positions of great wealth, learning, or influence. Masters are the captains of their own souls, and they march to the tune of their own inner impulses, which in turn have deep roots in universal principles. Mandela may or may not have been religious or even believed in God, but he was guided by an inner light, by an inner wisdom that asserted the deeper truth that we all know, actually, that everyone deserves dignity, freedom, and respect. Everyone is equal. Every life is precious, no matter the expression of that life, or how much their views differ from ours, or how different they look to us. His commitment to those universal principles was unwavering and incorruptible, even when it entailed great personal hardship. And what I mean by universal principles are those principles which benefit the collective and honor everyone. Principles such as justice, equality, freedom, dignity for all, transparency. And those principles stand out like beacons of light against those who espouse us-them philosophies, or those that seek to protect and enhance me and mine at the expense of others. And then the immense hardship that great people often have to face bestows on them not only the gift of credibility and authenticity, but it gives them the capacity for deep compassion for the suffering of others. It sparks and fuels their desire for change. In fact, I believe the hardship becomes one of the main ingredients to awaken the sleeping giant that lives in each and every one of us. Most importantly, for the law of creation, which is the final law of spiritual divorce. Masters have a vision that transcends the circumstances in their life. Their vision is never dependent on what is going on out there in their reality. As Dr. Joe Dispenza, author of Evolve Your Brain and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, says, and I quote, "To be greater than your environment, to be greater than the conditions in your life, to be greater than the feelings that are memorized in your body, to think greater than the body and to be greater than time means that you are tugging on the garment of the divine. Your destiny then is a reflection of a co-creation with a greater mind." And this is what we have witnessed on grand scale in the life and times of Mandela. It's there for us to realize what is possible in our lives as humanity strives to get, as it inexorably does, to the next level of its consciousness. Great people never lose their connection to their vision. They don't blow hot and cold, no matter how long it takes, no matter what they need to go through. And this takes a kind of extraordinary stubbornness, which Mandela himself admitted he had, because your vision has to survive despite all the negativity and naysayers around you and despite all the evidence to the contrary. So the real legacy that great masters leave us with is the mirror that they hold up to us, a mirror of what is possible for us. The deeper truth is that we all have the capacity to consciously and willfully create a new reality. And transformational work is about clearing away the blockages so that you can step into the powerful creator that you are. It's about awakening that sleeping giant within, even though you may not have suffered like Mandela, and even though you may have relaxed into a safe kind of complacency. It's to shake us out of that complacency. We are creators. We create through our thoughts and emotions and actions, and when we align those with the universal mind, align with universal principles and bring all of our feeling, all of our passion and our intention into the mix, then we see the impossible become possible. Or as President Obama said yesterday at the memorial about Mandela, he demonstrated that it always seems impossible until it is done. We are that powerful. We only need to realize it. That's the first step. And then step 2, we need to know how to work with it. So next year I hope to focus on interviewing fascinating people in the realm of personal transformation to keep on inspiring you. And in the meantime, have a wonderful break. And until then, hamba kahle, go well.